I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time out their night and joining us. This is Real Bread Life. I am Jay Rome. This is number 87. You can catch us everywhere on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube on Thursday nights at 6:15. The handle is Real Bread Life on everything. It's Real Bread Life, and the Real Bread League is the handle for the website. Also, the Instagram is Real Bread League. It was Breadville, now it's Real Bread League, and you can catch us there as well. So again, this is Thursday Night Live. This is number 87. I'd like to thank everybody for joining and tuning in. Mike, I see you in the green room. Give me a minute, and then I'll get you in here. So there's a couple things I wanted to go over and cover today, and we'll get right to them. And kind of just, I don't want to say run through them. I'll just get through them. So first, I want to thank everybody for the engagement and the comments, the emails, and all the feedback on all the platforms. I really appreciate it. For everyone that has emailed me and asked to get into the community, and for those looking for consulting, I appreciate that even more. And I will be finishing up the things we talked about. So I also wanted to thank everybody, and I like to do this a lot, for everyone that's behind the scenes that helps me out in all different ways with everything from the Facebook, the Instagram, the videos, and just with the support, whether it just be talking to me, listening to me, going on and on about all of Real Bread Life, Real Bread League, and Real Bread logistic things, and being supportive throughout this journey, because those are the things that really help me get where I'm going and make it this far in the journey. And I know I started a few weeks ago when we started with the sports and talking about our team. And I wanted to say thank you to the people on my team and that are a part of my team immediately. And from the inside all the way to all of the outside pieces as well. And with that being said, I wanted to go into my background I have now. And I know over the first couple of weeks, we had some different backgrounds. I started with the Eagles field background because I am a supporter of that team. And I like everything that they've built and where they're going with it. So now my background is the Yankee stadiums, and stadiums being plural, right? So we got over my left shoulder, the old stadium, over my right shoulder, the new stadium. And if you are a follower of baseball, you know that the stadium has been completed. They have tore down the old stadium, and it's now a field that they use for softball, soccer, and a bunch of other events. There's basketball courts there, and in the Bronx, they use that field, and that was all donated from the organization, or from the family that runs the organization now, I would say. So keeping with the sports theme and keeping with everything that encompasses RBL, I got on my legacy shirt. The RBL, first letter, each word, which is RBL. And I'm going to say that it's resilience builds legacy. And the reason this is one of my mantras is because everything I'm building is not only for me and those around me, for what I'm going to leave behind. And what we need to always think about is, what are we leaving behind? What are we building? Who are we building it for? And what is our legacy going to be? What is your legacy? What are you leaving behind for those in your circle, right? And it doesn't always have to be family. There are lots of people that leave legacies behind that didn't have any kids. And what your legacy is what you build and what they'll remember you by. Okay. And the way that's done is through resilience. And there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be things that hold us back. There's going to be things that get in the way, right? Roadblocks and speed bumps and things of that, just obstacles. So we have to be resilient in how we move through these things to build whatever it is that we're building. And everybody's building something different, but everybody's building something. And if you're not, Think about it and start. And it's never too late to start building whatever you want to build, whatever you think is your key to success, or what's going to help you get where you want to be, or those around you to achieve or attain whatever it is that you think they should have for their legacy, right? So that's why I'm rocking the RBL legacy shirt today, and the stadium behind me is part of that. And I think when I think about the stadiums behind me, and again, I've been a fan of the Yankees since I was a child, and what I've grown to understand as I've gotten older is the pops, meaning Big George, he had a vision, and he passed that vision down to his kids and their family. And I don't think people understand that everything started from somewhere. Nothing just poof and came out of thin air. Everything starts in the infancy stages. You know, there's a beginning to everything. I don't care if it's a pencil. I don't care if it's a piece of paper. The paper started out as a tree. The person that chopped down the tree thought about, you know, man, what are the uses I could get out of this pulp from the tree? And that's how the paper came about. And somebody figured out how to put the lines on the paper. Someone came up with the idea of writing with a pencil and putting the lead into the wood, all these things. So my point is, everything started from somewhere. And that's the story I want to start with today, is everything starts with somewhere in the legacy, right? And how we could start. What is your team and how does it start? So I wanted to thank the people on my team and those that have been around since I started and got me to the point I'm at now. And I always say this, everything about RBL is still in the infancy stages, even though it's been 3 years. I'm still at the beginning, right? So we want to build in that way. So let's take this to the bread, to the bread and to the bread business. We're at the beginning. So I have 3, 4, maybe 5 platforms that I use, and I appreciate all of the communication that I get from everyone. So the title that I put on today's live was about ordering, right? How do we order? And I did that because I found that me myself, and I'm not perfect. A few weeks back, and I talked about this, I think last week, I posted I put a post up in a Facebook group, and I put this on a bunch of different platforms, or a bunch of different groups, I should say, in Facebook groups, the Mission group, the Beambo group, the Independent Route owners group, as well as my own group. And what that was in the ordering, there is on the Beambo website, when we use our Ion, it's a freshness and a route growth metric that they use as far as all the routes in the sales center, right? There's 36 in our sales center, and I was 1 and 2 in freshness, and 1 and 2 over the 4-week period, and the 52-week period average, I was 1 and 2, or 2 and 1, whatever that was, or 3 and 1. So I was kind of at the top, and I posted that, and some people mistook it as like, and I think they were joking, and I'm really not too savvy when it comes to the Facebook or Instagram, and you know, because I'm just not that guy, and I kind of go with business, and I'm kind of about getting things done, and I'm kind of more, not, I'm going to say serious, but I'm focused, driven with what I do. So when I posted it, some took it as maybe like bragging, and I wasn't bragging. I was just giving the information that this is what I did over the year and where I've gotten to with just what I was doing. And I only posted it because out of the 36 routes, I was last in every area for years. And if I wasn't last, I was, out of the 36, I was 32 or 33, or, you know, 29 and 30, whatever the case was. And over the last 10 years, I've climbed up into, you know, the lower numbers as far as in our sales center. So that was an accomplishment for me. And sometimes you gotta clap for yourself in certain ways. And I'm not gonna break my arm patting myself on the back, and I'm not going to have a parade about it. I was just sharing the information because maybe I think I figured out one or two things that I can share with some other people. That was the reason for me sharing that, to let anyone out there know, hey, I think I got some things. If you want to know, I can share them with you with what I did. And that's why I went with the title I am using today, as far as how are we ordering. And with that being said, I was in the red in growth, because somewhere with the drop in sales during the end of roll season and us kind of hitting this dead period where it gets a little slower, I misordered. I'm not perfect, and I kind of jumped the gun and cut in certain areas, and it affected some of my sales growth in certain ways that are unavoidable. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's unavoidable. This is not a cookie cutter process that we deal with when it comes to delivering the bread. And I think some of us get into this thing of doing it one way, and also going with the picture behind me. If they stayed in that old stadium and kept it the way it was, they wouldn't have moved with the times to be able to pick up that new bread in 2025. So you have to have the vision and understand that things are not going to stay the same. As the times change, we have to change with the times. I just gave you the information that I'm not that computer savvy or not that good on Facebook and Instagram with certain things, but I do understand business. I do understand the metrics of growth and money. Now, I am no financial advisor, and I am no investment professional or analyst or anything like that. But what I do understand is business. And what I think I can help myself and some others with is how to win. So that's why I wanted to talk about the ordering, okay? Because it is the key to winning in the bread game. When I first started, one of the things I got from John Ritchie, shout out to John Ritchie. I think he's still down in the Florida area, and he was the management, that one of the ones that trained me, that came out with me, and when we were having discussions and talks. And I've said this before, one of the main things that stuck with me that he said is, the guys that do good in this business are the ones that come back here and get on the computer, the ones that check their orders, the ones that make the adjustments. And that right there was something that I follow and still to this day. And yes, I do my orders on the Ion, and there's one day when I go in and I kind of do all of the orders, but over the course of the week, I'm making those adjustments. I made adjustments today for next Tuesday, earlier today, because Tuesday's ordering will be closed out. It's probably closed out already, but I caught Tuesday because next week is going to be the first of the month at the end of the week. And looking at how the trends are going, I have to make those adjustments. Is it going to be perfect? No. Will it be exactly as I predicted to be? Maybe not. But I have to be prepared that just in case that spike comes and it goes crazy, I have that product. I don't want to see the wire, and I don't want to miss sales. So ordering is very important. So I say all that to say, if you watch this back and you hear this, let me know how your ordering is. Let me know what your how it's affecting you with the start of the fall. And if you need to share that with us, we're here for that. Okay. So let's get to Jay Moore. Jay Moore, what's going on, good brother? Fall is here. Appreciate the engagement. So which website do people use to sell their routes? When people sell their routes, if not in-house, where have they found most success? So that's a good question, Jay Moore. So what there are a few different routes, but I find the word of mouth is always going to be best for me. And if you could post in some of the route groups that I'm in, I've always seen guys post, because, and I'm not talking bad about any of the brokers, but what I find is sometimes those brokers, you're paying out fees that aren't necessary. Your word of mouth and communicating with other bread guys is always going to be your best way to go. To me, again, that's their business. I'm not a broker at all. And I find that talking to the bread guys and sharing the information online, just in different groups, is usually going to be best. And I don't know I'm not, like I said, I'm not big on the broker thing. I'm not ever going to label myself a broker. I could just share information, and I connect people all the time. So I don't know those groups because I haven't used them, to be honest with you. But we could chat offline and we'll talk about it a little more. But that's just my take, and I hope no one gets offended by that. And if someone else knows, if you post it in the chat right now, I'll put it on the screen. And actually, my chat is live, so it can go on the screen. If you look at the bottom of the screen, anyone puts anything in the chat, it goes on the screen automatically. I'm not going to block anyone sharing someone else's information. So with that being said, I got Michael in the green room. I'm going to get you in, Mike, so you can ask a few questions, and we'll go from there. Okay, Mike, if you turn your phone, are you on the phone or the computer?
I'm on the phone.
If you turn it sideways, it'll give you a bigger look, if that will help you. There you go. How's that?
Good.
Okay.
Yep. I'm on.
You are on, Mike. So thank you for reaching out. And first things first, I got the information. Just got to give me a little bit of time. And again, I apologize for not getting back to you sooner. And I don't know how that email got lost, but I'm glad I found it. It's very detailed. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So where are you from? And just give us a little bit about how RBL can help you.
I'm looking at a Pepperidge Farm route in Holbrook, Long Island, New York. And then the numbers were at, I think, $10.88 a week. And we negotiated price, which I didn't want to pay, but I want to get on the route. And then now we got the 52-week average from the head of, I guess, whoever handles business development for Pepperidge Farm, and it's $10,300. It comes with almost a 20-year-old truck with a couple 100,000 miles on it. He's got on it a Costco. He's got a meat farms. Now what's coming in is a Giuseppe's, which is all going down the same road on a long highway, Sunrise Highway. And it also has a Stop and Shop all on the same road. But now the new problem is, too, they're also opening up a brand new Whole Foods, all on the same road going down mile after mile. So I was worried about, I wanted to not give the price that we both agreed to because it's $600 a week difference. And plus I was, I talk to Pepperidge Farm guys. I go to other routes and check them out. Everybody's telling me it's 34 to 1, what the route sales are, or 36 to 1 or 30, but it's right in the middle there. So I just didn't want to be stuck in a place, especially like a Costco. They decide to get rid of Pepperidge Farm items because they've already limited them. So I'm thinking I buy this route. That's half my route. It does 5,500 a week, just that stop. So I just wanted your advice because you guys are doing this all these years. And I figured maybe you could steer me the right direction.
Okay, so now when you were talking about the Giuseppe's and the Whole Foods opening up, are you going to be able to bring product in there? And I think when you in the email you were telling me that kind of a couple of other stores would be your own. You'll be your own competition.
I'll be my own competition. Whole Foods doesn't take Pepperidge Farm, doesn't take any products like that.
Right. Yeah, but so the first about the being your own competition, that's never a problem. Most routes are set up that way, whereas you would, and I'm just going to go with us in our area because it's, say, for instance, the BJ's, the Walmart, the ShopRite, or us, we have Stop and Shops, and Big Y is the family chain. And on our strip, like say the strip I'm on, like the South Colony or North Colony, all of those are there. So it's not a problem being your own competition. What we find is it doesn't matter. So whatever someone's preference is going to be their preference. So don't look at that as far as being your own competition. That's never going to be a problem. It's like some of the guys that have and Pepperidge doesn't really do the private label, so to say, but it's like for Bimbo, when you bring private label in the name brand bread in BJ's or a Walmart, you're going to be your own competition, but that's not going to affect you in that way. What Pepperidge Farm I find is they have their own, it's like a fine wine. They have their own, their customers are their customers. So Pepperidge is kind of stands out as far as they're going to do what they're going to do. As long as the stores are there, I wouldn't worry much about other stores and, unless you're losing business in a store. Now, does that, and I think in the email you mentioned something about the cookies. Are there cookies on this route as well? Or is just bread?
No cookies, just bread.
Just bread.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Again, I didn't get a chance to really break down everything that you put in the email, and listening from what you're saying and what I did read in the email, I don't see it as a bad investment. And that drop in the number where you said from, I think it was 88 to 82 or 300 or 10,
500, 1088 to 10,000.
It was $500 to $600 in the difference, right?
Yes.
Okay, so not knowing the route, not knowing the area, not knowing what that was that affected it in that way, that's not something significant. You know what I mean?
The route also has like a lot of 7-Elevens that like $40 a week, 108, 100, and then I'm paying a premium for it, like 35 to 1, and it's not really lucrative. I'm always taking out stales because I worked on the route before. But he's got them in there in the numbers. So say it's doing 4,000 times 35 to 1, I'm paying like $18,000 for a stop that doesn't make any money. And it's really
it's so ironic that you're telling me that now. Before I did this video now, I just did a video offline, and it was talking about assessing routes and negotiation, basically, more or less. Now, those are some of the areas that you have for negotiation in the route. And if they're not willing to budge or negotiate with those numbers, then, that's your leverage is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
He won.
And I don't like, me personally, I don't like to get hung up on, because I've dealt with other people looking for routes, and we've consulted with some guys that more or less were buying routes, and they were stuck on, I really want this. And at the end of the day, they didn't go with it, and they went a different direction. And once they saw what it was, it kind of getting more informed helps. And again, leverage that I'm not comfortable with this. You're paying $18,000, and you're not getting a return, is what you're saying, right?
Right. Yeah. And he's got a couple of those. And then the last with the Whole Foods. The Whole Foods is, like I said, down the line. Is it going to hit my Stop and Shop, my meat farms, and my Giuseppe's? But I guess there's nothing really I can do about it.
What is the Giuseppe's? What type of numbers do they do?
It's opening in November.
Okay, so did you check historically? How are they with bread? Like, you know what I mean? So yes, that's one of the things.
Yes, I checked. It, and over like a further part where I live in Setauket, down maybe 20 miles away, does anywhere from 1,500 to 2,200 a week in them, depending on the location, I guess. So it does business. Okay. So the guy's telling me, he goes, at least it's going to do 1,000 a week for you, so that can make up for any of the losses. So I'm buying on those projected numbers that didn't happen yet, but it likely could happen.
Okay, so let's look at maybe in negotiations, and this is just me again. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but so he wants to do business on an assumption with Giuseppe's,
right?
But you're looking at actual numbers on these smaller stops, right? So my thing would be, let's meet somewhere in the middle, because we're guessing over here, but I can tell you what I see right here.
That's my plan. I was going to go see him tomorrow morning. I didn't want to text him or call him. I said, listen, we have to do something else, especially when the numbers dropped again. And that was like, that's the mortgage payment on the route for me, $500 a week.
How long has it been on the market?
He's had it on the market probably for the last 5 months, but then he didn't want to sell it because he'd had people. I called him before and he just blew me off because he was waiting to see what Giuseppe's was going to do, and I guess he didn't know Whole Foods doesn't take Pepperidge Farm, so I think he was going to try to increase his numbers and sell it, but he has a partner who left him and burnt him, so he wants to sell it just because he's doing it all by himself and he's got no life. So
Mm-hmm.
according to him. So he just wants to get out from underneath it. But now that he sees me, I come visit him every day. And now we made a deal for $385, and that's on those numbers I told you. And everybody and their mother from Pepperidge Farm, some I'm paying too much. You know what's going to happen, whatever. So I'm like, okay. And then as soon as it went down the numbers, the 500 a week, I was already going to pay whatever it was. I go, but my mortgage payment's going to be like 2,400 a month or 2,500 a month.
Yeah,
So.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I know once I get a chance to really dig into this and go over everything the way I would like to with my partner over here, I could agree with the number. It looked like a big too big anyway to start.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at what you're gonna be paying, normally we usually would be like, you know what, it's worth it. It's Pepperidge Farm route. You can do X, Y, and Z, but without knowing what the stores are doing and you're doing guessing, that's hard. That's hard. And yeah. And the other thing is with him, without his partner, he's not able to run it. You're in the driver's seat right here. You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. And I said it's a 1, 2, 3 deal. We're out. And then now he wants to get out. Before that, he was like, "Nah, I'll be a partner with you. Can I work for you?" And I go, "There's only so much I can afford because the route only gives so much off." But now he just wants to get out. Now he doesn't call me back. I haven't heard from him in a couple of days because I'm waiting for Ruth, this lady who runs business development for Pepperidge Farm. And it's just been like the last weekend where I'm dwelling on. I just actually went to his Costco and I just did everything for him. And he doesn't even know I go. I go into his stores and I clean them all up because I have nothing to do. And I'm just seeing how business is. And I spoke to a couple of the customers because I used to have a restaurant bar over in this area. So I know a lot of people. So he's got also, did I tell you, has a Restaurant Depot as well, who I'm friends with everybody in there. And they tell me he's horrible. They said he has no personality. He doesn't care about the business. Him and his partner, that don't get along. They'll work with me anything I want to do because they know me for years. And I'm like, well, that was
so I see there's probably a lot of room for growth, but again, you have the leverage going in. And hold on, William over here made a good point too. Do the smaller stops have service contracts? So some of those stops, so you're not obligated.
No.
And they're not obligated to stick with you. So you pay that big number, you buy it, and they say, well, we're gonna go with Wonder now. We're going with Bimbo, we're going with Flowers, or or how about this? We're gonna just go to Restaurant Depot and buy the bread now. So you paid him for the stop, and now they're just gonna buy your other bread.
Yep. That's another thing. That's why I'm saying it was overvalued to me.
No. So now you got room to negotiate and chop that number down a lot. And again, if other Pepperidge guys and people in the business are telling you, they know. They know. Again, I'm not in your area, but it sounds kind of bloated. And if you, like I said, I'm going to definitely get back to you. You give me a couple days, I'll give you a detailed breakdown. We'll go offline and we'll go over it. I'll put it all up on the screen and we could chop it up even more. I appreciate you coming on and talking to me right now. And we always want to be of service to those getting into the business, those in the business, and especially looking for those red flags and better ways for you to come out on top. And not that we want the other guy to lose, but we don't want you to overpay.
No. I have to get a good deal. That's the way it is.
We want fair. We want everybody to be fair. You know what I mean? And it is a business, but you don't have to get the bad end of the business.
No, totally. And then like a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe a couple of months ago, they were thrown out of meat farms because of the partner. And then the partner just left the business completely and the guy got everything back. And then I'm like, I'm seeing all these stores. I know I could build them all up because I come from a Coca-Cola route. My dad had a Coke route for 30 years. I ran it for 10. And then I got a
taste. So yeah, you're familiar. You're already familiar with the business, which is so dope. I like that. Good for you. And that's even, it's better. It's easier to get into the business when you're familiar with how the business runs, because you know the formula for success already.
Mm-hmm.
So you can apply it to the bread, you know. And I tell people all the time, once you understand the formula, you can apply it to anything. You can go sell cookies, chips, leg warmers, as long as you know how to sell and do business. And one of the things I really like what you said was, you're getting feedback from other businesses that their personality is not good. They're not customer friendly. And that's one of the biggest things in business is your relationships. So, and you already have some relationships, so you're kind of like, you know, already in.
Well, my logic is, when I was talking to the restaurant Tipo guys, they knew me for years because I was there every day. I go, me, when I had my Coke route, everybody was in a Coke hat, Coke shirt. What did it cost me? Whatever it was. And I go, everybody knew when Coca-Cola was coming. I go, that's how I feel at Pepperidge Farm. I go, this guy comes in a jalopy beat up truck. He comes in sweatpants, holes. He's not dealing with anybody. To me, I want to come in and I go, I want you to remember me. I want everybody to have a hat. And when the season comes, I want to take care of you. The manager, I want to make sure you have bread for Christmas. I go, it's worth the investment to me. And I go, because I want to grow sales. And I go, that's how I do it. But, you know,
Yeah,
I don't know how much profits in it, but.
No, you want to represent the brand that you're selling.
Right.
Representation is everything. And again, we always talk about your presentation. You could deliver bread, or you can stack bread on the shelves. You know, you could just be a business owner, or you could just deliver bread. You have to figure out which one you're going to be. And I'm saying, you understand, you know what you want to be, but this is for the guys that are just out there delivering bread. You know, some people want to be business owners and do business.
You want to just deliver bread, go get a job. I want to go out, I want to build it. I want to, like, I take pictures of displays. I'm very interested in it because I like it. Like you said, a legacy. I'm really from a Coca-Cola background with my father, and I still miss it. I'm 55 and I'm buying this business, you know, but I'm in still decent shape. I'm not an old guy, but I'm not a young guy. So everybody's like, why would you want to do it? I go, because I liked being out there with the managers. I like bullshitting with them. And I have nothing to do. I'm there. So
Yeah,
this is a couple miles away from my house.
Yeah, listen, I wish Brandon was on today. He speaks the same language as you. You know what I mean? He's a Pepperidge guy. He loves the business. And, you know, we're all the same age. And it's so crazy that some of these younger guys don't have that mentality. And that's fine. It just leaves room for guys like us to grow and build and just succeed. So I like the way you're talking, man. And you know, that's good. That's good. I because Brandon comes from the Pepperidge background, and he could give you more insight on the business as far as Pepperidge. I'm more the Bimbo background. I'm familiar with the business on all sides, but it's more his area, and I'll definitely get him on with you. And everything that you sent me, I'm gonna get with him, and we'll have very good analysis for you and a good breakdown. I promise you that.
I appreciate you the time and what you're doing for everybody.
Thank you so much. This is good, man. This is why we're here. This right now, if nothing else, this was a good Thursday with you coming on, asking questions, sharing your journey, and hopefully what you said can help someone else. And we're definitely going to be able to help you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you coming on. You have a good night. Stay blessed and keep stacking.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I like to thank Mike, man. That's dope. So that's what we're here for. RBL, man. It's working at its finest. I got an email from Mike, and again, he's looking at a Pepperidge route. He's in New York, and we're gonna take care of him. He's in the Northeast like us, and not just because he's in the Northeast, but just because he reached out, and that's what RBL is. Real Bread Life. It's a real bread league, and we're using real bread logistics so everybody could succeed. All right. So this is Thursday night, 87. We want everybody to know that we're here for them. If you're looking, right here is where you can go to support the channel. The shirt I have on, there's so many more. There's so many different things. There's coffee, there's shirts, there's mugs, there's pillows, there's puzzles, there are hats, sweatshirts, varsity jackets, shorts, sweats. Go take a look anything you see will be supporting the channel so we could support RBL and what we do for the people. I'll leave it up for a second. And I'll even put the QR code up. If anybody wants to support the channel, you can go right here. You want to scan this. If you're watching this back and this is on your screen, on your computer, on your TV, if you're on your phone, you want to pull out your other phone, you scan that code. It's going to take you to the website with the RBL apparel and you can support the channel. All right. That is for anybody that wants to support right there. I'll leave that up. And that's the QR code. The QR code for the apparel is on the screen. Again, this is not for me to get rich. This is how we support the channel and do everything that we got to do for RBL. All right. So anybody that wants to support the channel, that's how you do it. We appreciate it. And it's very, very much appreciated. All right. I'll leave the QR code for a second and that's how you can support. I'd like to thank everybody who's watching on the Facebook. If you're watching on the Instagram, if you're watching on the YouTube, we appreciate it. This is Thursday Night 87. And we appreciate all the engagement. So for anybody who wants to join, get in the Facebook group. I'm going to let this go across the screen at the bottom. We don't have any rules except for be kind when you're in the group. The group is for people to post if you have a question, if you have a win, if you just want to share what you did for the day, you want to put up how you stacked your bread, you can do that. There are no boundaries other than don't cuss, swear, or put anything vulgar on this group page. Other than that, share what you like, ask what you like, interact, and let's grow as a community. All right. If you have any questions for how to get into the business, if you already have a route and you need help with the route, if you're looking for ways to grow, if you're looking for consultation, if you're looking for any help in any way on all levels, you can reach us right here, JUGG@realbreadlife.com. JUGG@realbreadlife.com. I am Jug. This is Real Bread Life. I want to thank everybody for checking in today. I want to thank everybody for reaching out in the comments. Jay Moore, appreciate you. William, appreciate you. Thank you for coming out and supporting today. We will be back next week. We will be sticking with the sports theme. We're moving deeper into the football season, and we're just about, they're wrapping up baseball season. And for those that don't know, 4 weeks from today, or if it was yesterday, the basketball season will start. Okay. 4 weeks from today or yesterday, basketball season will help. You need help with 100,000. You got me. Yeah. Stay blessed. Keep stacking. I can keep it 1,000 with you. Stay blessed. Keep stacking. Yeah. Okay. I see you. Go Mets next year. Nah, man, I don't think the Mets got eliminated yet. I think they still in it. They like one game out, if I'm not mistaken. They like one game out. I think they're still in it. Los, what's going on, good brother? Yes, let's go. Yeah, so The Mets are still in it. The Yankees are in it. The Red Sox are in it. The Blue Jays and the Yankees are tied right now at the top. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And again, you got your usual suspects in the National League. He said, not mathematically. Oh, the Mets been eliminated? That's it? He said, not mathematically. Okay, I didn't know, man. I'm sorry for your losses. I'm sorry for your losses. Two nights ago, Mets went crazy, man. They had a dope game, came back and won it. And then last night they laid an egg, man. Terrible. I got my guy out there with me, Dozen Martins, Andrew, big Mets fan, man. He gets disappointed every year. I ain't gonna lie. Last year I got disappointed at the end, though. At least the team I was rooting for made it, all the way to the end. We'll see how it goes this year. Somebody would be telling me about me having this picture of these stadiums up behind me. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so we're gonna stick with the sports, man. I just think that the whole concept of team is undervalued, right? It's undervalued. No one does it alone. Like, say, for instance, on the baseball team, the guy that hits the home runs. But what about the pitcher? He's got to throw to the catcher. They hit the ball to the shortstop. What's he got to do? Throw to the first baseman. They hit the ball to the second baseman. What's he got to do to turn the double play? Throw to the shortstop, who in turn has to throw to the first baseman. Everybody's necessary. In football, QB. Everybody talks about the QB. QB1, who's the quarterback? Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. You talk Baker Mayfield. You talk about all these quarterbacks, right? What has to happen? They got to snap the ball. Who snaps the ball? The center. Without the center, none of it happens. But they don't talk about the center and how valuable the center is. Everyone talks about the quarterback. What does the quarterback have to do? Hand the ball to the running back. What happens when the running back gets the ball? The lineman got to block. Everybody's necessary. It takes all 11 guys on the field for it to work. So I get it. QB gets all the glory. Most QBs get the MVP, or the running back gets the MVP. Smart running backs and smart quarterbacks think their line and take care of their line. You think about all the QBs who've won MVPs, all the running backs, what do? They buy all the linemen Rolexes or diamond rings or necklaces or whatever. Some of them have bought cars for their linemen before. They always take the linemen out to dinner. You know what I mean? That's what happens. That's how it works. It's a team effort. Most teams do good all year. Most teams do decent. You got to look at this, and you guys are going to remember this and pay attention to this. This week in football, let me know how many teams win a game on a kick. How many teams win a game on a kick, whether it be an extra point or a field goal? Last week, I don't think I've seen more blocked field goal tries ever in my life than last week, with 2 of them being run back for touchdowns at the end of games. There was a walk-off run back. The Eagles had a blocked field goal and a walk-off touchdown. So kickers are important. And it's underappreciated how valuable that is. So everybody's necessary. Just wanted to get that in when we start talking about the team. All parts matter on the team. So with that being said, appreciate everybody checking in, especially in the comments. Carlos, Tom, Dosey Doe, Will, and Jay Moore. Appreciate you. Mike, thank you for reaching out and coming on the live. Everybody else that's on the live, if you're not in the chat, I can't see you. Thank you to the people, O'Neill Parker, Carrie, and Brian on the Instagram, and those watching on Facebook. Appreciate everybody checking in and all of the support. It only works because of you guys. I only do this. We only do this because of you guys. Stay focused. Stay tuned because we got a lot more coming in the future. This has been number 87. I am J Rome, aka Jug. Hold on. I got somebody just put something in the chat. Okay. Okay, my bad, White. I see you. I see you. Nice one. I see you. Yes, Tom. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that so much. So, again, Facebook, Real Bread Life, RBL winner to join the group. TikTok is Real Bread League. The website is Real Bread Life, Real Bread League, and Real Bread Logistics. And you're watching on YouTube, it's Real Bread Life. Also, Instagram is Real Bread Life. I like to thank everybody for tuning in. That's all I got for now. Stay blessed and keep stacking.